Water is the only drink humans actually need, which makes everything else a choice. Every civilization that ever existed made that choice the same way. They took water and did something to it, fermented it, boiled it, pressed fruit into it, let leaves steep in it until the color changed and something new appeared. The result was not just flavor, it was culture. It was medicine. It was a ceremony. It was the thing you drank at a wedding, at a funeral, when sealing a deal, when ending a war. Every drink on this list is a solution to a problem someone had thousands of years ago. And the solution worked so well that we never stopped. Tea begins as a leaf, a specific leaf, from the Camellia sinensis plant, processed in different ways to produce green, white, black, or oolong. All from the same plant, all tasting nothing alike. The difference is oxidation. Black tea is fully oxidized, which darkens the leaf and deepens the flavor. Green tea is not oxidized at all, which keeps it light, grassy, slightly bitter. According to Chinese legend, a leaf fell into boiling water in 2737 BCE and the emperor tasted what happened. Whether that is true is irrelevant. What is true is that tea became the most consumed beverage on earth after water, and that the British Empire reshaped global trade routes, colonized entire subcontinent economies, and fought wars specifically over it. A leaf in hot water changed the world. Coffee was discovered, according to Ethiopian legend, when a goat herder noticed his animals would not sleep after eating certain red berries from a tree. He brought them to a monastery. The monks made a drink from them and used it to stay awake during long evening prayers. From that monastery, the drink spread to Yemen, then across the Ottoman Empire, then into European coffee houses in the 1600s, where it replaced beer as the morning drink of choice, which coincided almost precisely with the beginning of the Enlightenment. People stop drinking alcohol in the morning and start drinking a stimulant instead, and suddenly everyone wants to debate philosophy and invent things. The timing is not a coincidence. Wine is fermented grape juice, and also the result of 10,000 years of agricultural obsession. Wild yeast on grape skins consumes the sugar in crushed grapes and produces alcohol and carbon dioxide. That is the whole mechanism. What takes 10,000 years is learning which grapes, from which soil, in which climate, harvested on which day, fermented at which temperature, aged in which vessel, produce something worth drinking. The Romans planted vineyards as far north as Britain. Medieval monks kept viticulture alive through centuries of upheaval, because wine was essential for the Eucharist and also because monks are human beings who understood what they had. The specific character of a wine from a specific hillside in a specific year is called terroir. It means the taste of a place. No other drink has a word for that. Beer is older than wine and possibly older than bread, or at least tied for the honor of being the first thing humans deliberately fermented. Ancient Sumerians brewed it from grain and wrote about it in the oldest surviving recipes in human history. For most of recorded history, beer was not a leisure drink. It was nutrition. Low alcohol by modern standards, high in carbohydrates, and safer than water in cities where the water supply was contaminated. Medieval peasants drank several liters a day and did not consider it remarkable. The hop plant, added to balance the sweetness of malt and act as a preservative, only became standard in European brewing around the 15th century. Before hops, brewers used a mixture of herbs called gruit. Almost nobody knows what that tasted like anymore. Milk is the only food that exists specifically to be drunk. Every mammal produces it for the same reason. Humans are the only mammals that continue drinking it after infancy, and the only ones that drink it from other species. The ability to digest lactose in adulthood, lactase persistence, is a genetic mutation that became widespread only after humans domesticated cattle roughly 10,000 years ago. Before that, most humans were lactose intolerant as adults and simply stopped drinking milk when they stopped needing it. The mutation was so advantageous in cultures with dairy animals that it spread rapidly. Fermented dairy, yogurt, kefir, cheese gets around lactose entirely, which is why cultures without the mutation still found ways to use milk. Fermentation solves problems that genetics has not gotten around to yet. Orange juice became a daily habit because of technology, not agriculture. Oranges had existed for centuries. The problem was that fresh squeezed juice oxidizes and tastes wrong within hours, and there was no way to ship it. Pasteurization and refrigeration changed that. Then in the 1940s, a process was developed to remove oxygen from juice before sealing it in tanks, allowing it to be stored for up to a year. When the oxygen is removed, so is the flavor. So flavor packets derived from orange byproducts are added back before packaging. The orange juice in a carton is engineered to taste like orange juice. It mostly succeeds. The point is that what feels like a natural morning ritual is actually a mid-20th century industrial achievement dressed up as something ancient. Spirits arrive through distillation, which is the process of boiling fermented liquid and collecting the vapor. Alcohol evaporates at a lower temperature than water, so the vapor is more alcoholic than the liquid it came from. Collect enough vapor, cool it back into liquid, and you have something significantly stronger than wine or beer. The Arab scholar Al-Kindi described the process in the 9th century. European alchemists refined it looking for medicine and found whiskey, brandy, and gin instead. Each spirit carries the identity of where it was made. Scotch whiskey tastes like peat smoke and rain because the barley was dried over burning peat and aged in wood in a cold climate. Tequila tastes like earth and smoke because it is made from the heart of a roasted agave plant that grows in volcanic Mexican soil. Distillation extracts the character of a place and concentrates it. Coca-Cola was invented in 1886 by a pharmacist in Atlanta who was trying to make a medicinal syrup. The original formula contained cocaine from coca leaves and caffeine from cola nuts, which explains the name and also the original marketing. The cocaine was removed in 1903. What remained was a flavored, caffeinated, sweetened, carbonated drink that became one of the most recognized manufactured objects on Earth. During World War II, the company promised to supply American soldiers with bottles for 5 cents each, regardless of where they were stationed, and built 64 bottling plants overseas to do it. Those plants stayed open after the war. Global distribution of a soft drink followed the logistics infrastructure of a world war. The drink is now everywhere. What that means about soft power, taste, and empire is a question worth sitting with. Drinks are not just drinks. They are the record of what humans were afraid of, what they celebrated, what they needed to stay awake, what they used to make peace with mortality, and what they handed to strangers as a gesture of trust. Every drink on this list came from a moment when someone decided that plain water was not enough, that the act of drinking could carry more weight than just keeping a person alive. It could mark an occasion. It could bind people together. It could mean something. That impulse never went away. It is why we still clink glasses and say something before we drink. We are still doing what humans have always done, making a simple thing into a ceremony because that is what a simple thing deserves.